Okay, so I've waited long enough. I didn't want to spam your sub box with a bunch of videos on all the new Saints Row videos being put out, so I decided to wait until there was a good chunk of gameplay out there. I've decided to compile a list of all the pros and cons and some things I'm neutral about from everything we've seen about the reboot thus far. Keep in mind, this is my personal opinion, but let me know how my list stacks up compared to yours. Let's start this video off on a bad note and start with the cons. The health bar seems intrusive, and for certain things it just feels flat out unnecessary. Like random civilian cars seem to have health bars that appear from the slightest tap. Really hope this is something we can toggle off if we'd like without having to disable the entire HUD. The chase cam seems to be extremely far away from our vehicles every time we get into a chase with the police. Notice how the camera was normal, then as soon as the police notice us, the camera switches to the far away chase cam. I'm more of a fan of an up close type of camera when it comes to driving. Speaking of camera settings, whenever the player crashes into something, the camera does a very aggressive shake, and I can see that becoming very annoying over time, especially if you're a person that suffers from motion sickness. The enemies look really bullet spongy, especially in the newest gameplay we got. We can see the player empty an entire clip plus more just to kill a single enemy. The enemy cars get destroyed way too quickly. After 1 to 2 hits, the enemy cars seem to run out of health. I'm not sure if this is a difficulty setting thing, but I think the cars need a serious health buff. The HUD is still extremely dark and hard to see roads. Also, the giant fleur-de-lis in the middle of the screen is very intrusive, and just watching gameplay of it annoys me. They should really consider moving it to a corner of the screen rather than right in your face. The texture pop-in seems to be really bad as well. I know it's
pre-alpha,
but I hope that gets addressed. Not to mention, when trees are destroyed, it literally looks like paper mache crumbling. The enemy AI looks really bad. I mean, look at these idols all doing the exact same slide to then look out into the distance for their lost lover and then run away? What the hell did I just watch? Or how about these cops probably hitting 1 out of 100 shots on you from point blank range? Lastly, the voice acting sounds really bad from the few lines we heard.
They ruined our anarchy!
Why? Now onto some things I feel neutral about. Kind of like a meh feeling. Not sure if they're pros or cons just yet. Starting with the car physics. The drifting looks good for sure, but stunting and going over little jumps and cracks looks pretty wonky if you ask me. Take this clip for an example. When he hits the curb, the car goes directly in the air as if the player just went off a tiny ramp. So again, meh. Next is the weapon wheel. I like the new design, and I'm a fan of it not stopping gameplay like it did in Saints Row 4. The two things that were questionable for me, however, were how they swapped the shotgun and the AR slot on the weapon wheel for some reason. And if you look closely, every gun seems to have a foregrip for some reason. I just want my pump action shotty to not have a foregrip, damn it. I just want to be Dominic Toretto pumping my shit back. Wait. That didn't sound right. Also, in firefights, it seems like there's a heavy aim assist. It's almost as if you can pop in locked on an enemy every time you fine aim near an enemy. This is something I won't mind if you can turn it off, as full free aim is my preferred method of play. Now onto some more positive things I've noticed when watching through the new gameplay videos. Starting with the graphics. To me, the graphics honestly look good. I feel as if YouTube's compression is hurting the overall look to the game, and if we were able to play in 4K at 60 frames per second, the game has potential to look beautiful. Picture this. You've spent your night hunting vultures in the desert when the sun suddenly starts to rise up. As you look off into the distance, you don't see a screen tear or pop in sight. My god, it's a beautiful thought. Let's hope something like this can be achieved. Next on to the combat. If we look past the brain dead AI, we can see that the gunplay actually looks really good. The weapons sound really powerful and punchy, and they have some weight to them. Not only that, but the addition of hopping out of your car and going on the roof mid-car chase looks really cool. I feel like this will be a fun feature, especially when you're playing with a friend, so they can continue driving. And who knows, maybe there will be a homie that'll continue driving as you shoot on the roof. This ability seems tailor-made for the drug trafficking activity. The car combat looks really good in my opinion. Sure, the cars get destroyed far too quick, but the actual combat and sideswiping looks really good. The sideswiping feature reminds me heavily of Sleeping Dogs, as in that game you could do the same thing. From the looks of it, the feature here doesn't look as stiff as it did in Sleeping Dogs, which is nice. The fact that the cop cars hide in different alleys and roads now before spotting you is a nice addition too. Seems like the cop system is very much improved from the previous games. In this footage here, you can see the specific time the cop notices you, but I have a feeling this is mission specific because you don't see it again after this. Next, the wingsuit looks dope. The flying looks smooth, and if I had to guess, I'm assuming there will probably be a side mission or activity designed to go along with this new mechanic. Lastly, the map. Santo Ileso looks amazing from what we've seen so far. The downtown district looks a lot bigger than I originally thought and is very vibrant and colorful, and I absolutely love the El Dorado Las Vegas inspired district. We haven't seen much of the NPC life yet though. That will be the true test when it comes to this city versus Stillwater, so we'll have to be on the lookout for that as we get more and more gameplay. But yeah, the map has a lot of promise to it and is already looking miles better than Steelport. I mean Steelport. But yeah, there you have it. My list of pros and cons from Saints Row 2022 so far. Enjoy this poorly made diagram to better represent everything I've said in this video and so you can clearly see what you agree and disagree with. Feel free to yell at me in the comments with your opinions. I want to know what you like and dislike so far. I have a bunch more special videos planned in the future as well, so stay tuned my lovely people. If you want to stay up to date with your papa, follow me, RPG, on Twitter so you can see my poor attempts on memes. Until we get some more news, stick around. This has been your boy, RPG, saying peace out, bitch.